But Francis, one of the things that is going to be quite critical now is to continue reflecting on this life as he lies inside this very church behind us, in fact, symbolizing just how much he valued solitude. Francis?
Yeah, and what incredible reflections there from Reverend Peter's story. Hopefully we'll hear more. And let's hear from somebody else now. We're talking to the former chair of the Independent Electoral Commission, Dr. Brigalia Bam, looking back at the life and times of Archbishop Desmond Tutu ahead of that funeral tomorrow. Dr. Bam, thank you for being with us. And let's start, I guess, with a chance for you to pay tribute to the Arch and tell us about any of your interactions with him.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, indeed, I was one of probably the many people in this world who were fortunate to be part of his journey. And I need to say, before I say many things, is that his respect for women and his acceptance, unquestionable, of our humanity as women was amazing. And I have to start from there because of many experiences that I had with him on many things, including the program that we're talking about now, which I'm not going to talk about. But I want to talk about that first. So respectful he was that when he talks to you as a woman, even a younger woman, in our culture, when you talk to somebody you respect, a woman, even if she's younger than you, you will say Sisi, which is always a sign that you are respecting that person. And Desmond, having grown up in a kind of home, or whatever it was, whenever he is addressing you, whether there is tension, whether it's a debate, whether it is any form of disagreement on anything, he would never lose out to say to you as a woman, Sisi. And I think this is something that is very important about her. It was not the humility only that was something we all admire, and his sense of humor, amazing sense of humor, and a person who knew how to laugh at himself, to such an extent that Desmond would actually laugh at his own jokes, which were always there all the time. But it was also this humility. What impresses me most about him, there are many two things, was also his amazing belief in prayer and in God. Wherever we were, whether it was here at home in South Africa, and abroad, where, in fact, I met him for the first time. We were working for the same organization, World Council of Churches. This is an organization that is his head office based in Geneva, Switzerland. And at that time, it had over 365 member churches around the world. And I had been there and arrived there before he did. He came and joined us later, an amazing reputation that he had, and was based in the office in London. Now, it's important for people who might not know that when they choose candidates to do jobs, they are choosing from all their member churches around the world. And so for anyone, in the midst of all these theologians from the world, all these theologians, he was the one who was, in fact, there in London. And it was through our jobs, both of us, that in addition to our own jobs we had to do as people who are employed, was the promotion and the pleading with the people to put all kinds of pressure to South Africa to end apartheid.
Dr. Bam, we're running out of time, but I'm so glad you brought this up because it often comes up. Some say religion and politics are exclusive. They should not mix, and the Arch was always mixing them. But do you agree with Reverend Peter's story, who says that compassion and justice is a God idea? He couldn't not get involved with social justice in South Africa.
Desmond believed in social justice because you couldn't, politics is a way of life, and Desmond said the politics of repression are violating the life of human beings. They are violating the life of people who are made in God's image. And he would use this. And because we are talking about justice to God's human beings, there is no way you can separate the two. And he was strong on this, and that is why he was so very strong on issues of justice, because he used the very theology, the very belief in God, the very belief in Christ and resurrection with those with his that black people, poor people, are also entitled to life of respect, and they do need to be discriminated on the grounds of the color which they have not chosen. And he would tell jokes about himself that when he gets to heaven, and because he had a sense of humor, he will ask God why he decided to make him black, and he'll ask God why his nose was different, and then, why, if he knew that he would have such a hard time as a black person in the world which God had created. That's on a lighter note, but he would make those jokes because on a serious note, he believed in church and society issues were together. There was no separation, and that is why people didn't understand that why he would protest. The protest he saw as his ministry for change.
Yes.
That the only way you can talk to politicians, you negotiate, you convince them, but the language you can use, the best of us, is our humanness.
Yeah.
And that is why he had no problems in interacting so very well, even with people like Mr. Clark.
Dr. Brigalia Bam, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for those beautiful remembrances, looking back at her early interactions with Archbishop Desmond Tutu.